Welcome back to the Blues Feed, everyone. We are back with another preview video. We are previewing the Fulham game here with Luke to preview it, as always. Just a quick reminder on the subscriber giveaway. We're about 40% of the way there, so drop a subscribe, drop a comment to enter, and hopefully you will get your hands on a shirt of your choice for the 25-26 season. Maybe if we do it quickly, it might even be without a sponsor. Jumping into the episode, we are going to start with the best comment from the last video. Quake tremors. Esteval is the living embodiment of age is nothing but a number because he's so ready for this league. It's not even funny. He's still got things to learn, but he's super adaptable and thankful for Maresca sees that as well. Great view of the match and fun to listen to. Appreciate the comment. I think I agree with everything you say there. I think Esteval is a top talent. I said it at the start of the season. I think if he gets his starts, he will cement his place in the team, and he won't be pushed outside of rotation for fitness or if his form drops. I think the biggest thing for me with Esteval is just he is fearless. He doesn't care. He just runs at people. He'll try flicks and tricks. He didn't go into a shell after he did a flick, and it resulted in the Paqueta goal. So yeah, and hopefully Maresca will keep being brave in starting him. But to be honest, I think with the talent he is, I don't think Maresca will have much choice. He'll just think that he is the best option in that spot and continue to play him. Anything you want to add to that, mate?
No, I completely agree with everything that Quake Tremors has said, especially the bit where he says, "Great review of the match and fun to listen." To. No, I'm only joking. Yeah, no, I completely agree, and yeah, Esteval's a joke, isn't he? He's so ready, and yeah, he's just going to get better and better with every game he plays and every minute he spends on the pitch. So, as always, thank you for all of your comments. There was we had a bit of a debate over which one to choose, and we might have to start changing this section to best comments from the last episode rather than just one.
Little shout out to D Smith, who basically said Sanchez is shit, and we both agreed. And he was a very close second place. So yeah. To go on to the shape and the Fulham game, this was the shape against Man United. I don't know if this is because Man United are so ropey that this is what had to happen, or if this is kind of the longer term Fulham shape. But from Fulham, we know they're a solid side. They are a defensive first. Try not to kind of concede, be solid, and score few goals, concede few goals. Made up of a team with kind of two very kind of destroyer type centre midfielders in Sanderberger and Lukic. They don't create a huge amount of chances, so it's a bit of a weird shape. It's kind of thrown me off what I was going to say, to be honest, after looking at it. But yeah, I expect a very solid, a very compact Fulham side that are not going to give up a huge amount of chances. We'll come on to where we think we can attack them and where we can get joy. Anything you want to say on Fulham specifically, Luke?
Yeah, I think that shape last week. I watched the Fulham Man United game, and Fulham sort of matched United up with the way that they lined up. They had a back three of Bassi, Anderson, and Tete, with Castagne and Sessegnon as sort of the wing backs, and then Lukic and Berger in midfield, and then Iwobi and the young lad King behind Muniz. So it'll be interesting to see whether they keep that sort of three at the back shape, or whether they then adapt to playing us by going back to a four and trying to match us up. I think their left side is very much the target area if Anthony Robinson isn't playing, because as good as Sessegnon is going forward, his defensive game is limited, to be honest, and we can probably override them in midfield quite easily if they line up the way the screen shows now, because Berger gets left alone a lot. And we can, with our athleticism and our physicality in midfield, we can overrun him. And I think João Pedro would just love that space. You look at the space behind Berger, in between Anderson and Bassi, that is just got João Pedro written all over it. So yeah, I'm confident going into this game, to be honest, mate, and probably the most confident I've been out of the three games so far this season.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Anthony Robinson is a massive loss for them, and the midfield is a little bit unathletic. And like you say, they leave Sanderberger quite on his own quite often in transition. So I think it's a pretty similar kind of matchup in a way to the West Ham game, that if we can target that left-hand side with Bassey's been playing there as well, so obviously not a traditional left back with and Sessegnon obviously not a very good defensive left back as well. So I think if we can target that side again, it would be a way that we can get through them, just like we said in the West Ham preview, and just what happened in the West Ham game as well. Jeff was the weak link, and we got in down that side quite a lot. So I think that's it. And if we can, I think we'll have to play quickly again, because they will solidify into a back for like five, like Berger does sometimes, drop into kind of as a fifth defender, and they all drop back. So yeah, I think from an attacking perspective as well, they really don't create that many chances. I think they had something like 6 shots against Brighton in the first game, and against Man United they only equated 13, but only 4 on target. So they're not particularly creative going forward. They're not particularly good at set pieces either, both attacking and defensive. I think they scored the least amount of goals from set pieces, and they conceded quite a few goals from set pieces last year as well. So we'll be able to potentially get some goals in there from set pieces, and also not particularly worried about the threat from there. One thing that I did notice as well is last year most of their assists and creativity came from Traore and Robinson, and both of those haven't been featuring so far. So they are certainly weaker than they were last year. Anything else you want to add to that before we move on?
I think you've summarised it perfectly, to be honest, mate. Yeah, I think your analysis of Fulham's spot on.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. To go on to the predictions, we've got our kind of lineup. We've both said the same, so I've not put it on there twice. It's basically the same as last week, but James in for Gusto. And I would hope that's still with James pushing forward instead of inverting back in to the defence. Don't think there's really much else to say on that, apart from I don't think there's a real need to risk Cole Palmer unless he's absolutely spot on and trained 2 or 3 days this week, which we haven't heard at this stage.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, I completely agree with you, mate. And I think especially with the weakness on Fulham's left hand side, if Robertson doesn't play, I think James bombing on would be ideal. I wouldn't be against if James tucks into the back three and Cucurella, on the other hand, bombs forward on the left. But I don't quite see that happening, to be honest. I see it being James or Gusto, whoever plays on that right flank.
Yeah, no, I agree. And obviously with the international break as well, James will have a bit of a break, because I don't imagine he'll play both games for England. So
No.
you could probably risk it a little bit more with his bombing forward and up and down. But yeah, cool. We're going to go on to the score predictions now. I've gone 3-0 with a Pedro goal to continue his excellent form. Delap to get his first Premier League goal. Esteval to get his first Premier League goal, and a man of the match of João Pedro. Luke, you've gone for 2-0, João Pedro, Delap, and Pedro man of the match. So we're really boring, aren't we? We just keep agreeing. I think I might have to just do something different for the
It's
next
too
game.
early. It's too early in the season at the minute. I think the disagreements will start to flood in once this first international breaks out of the way. I think, and there's a little bit more controversy, more games, more cups, and maybe some more transfers as well thrown in. So, yeah, at the minute it's very predictable early in the season, because you're playing one game a week, you're getting a week on the training field, and the lineups are generally pretty easy to guess, especially with the likes of Palmer likely to be out or at least rested for this week.
And also a couple of other options
against West Ham.
Yeah, no, I agree. And a couple of other options that aren't really there yet, like we don't have Garnacho or Simmons. Or
Yeah,
Lopez,
exactly. And somebody like Gittins isn't quite ready for consistent starts, and the defence we're so sort of injury ravaged at the back, really, with Levi's injury and Badia Shields out injured. It leaves us minimal options really to change it up. So I think it's
Yeah, no, I agree.
fairly predictable,
I
depending
think
on how we
another kind
perform.
of 20, 30 minutes off the bench for Fofana, and then another couple of weeks on the training field will probably do him perfect, and then he might be ready to start against Brentford. Just ease
Yeah,
him in. There's no need to really throw him in at the play of 90 minutes against them,
yeah, I agree.
and risk an injury when you could just slowly build him up with another couple of weeks of training.
Yeah, exactly that. And yeah, the last thing I want to add before we talk about the preview of the Champions League draw is just for especially for the international break, people let us know in the comments what you want us to see. Maybe there's something you want us to debate, and we can get a bit lively for you.
Yeah,
Just let
absolutely.
us know down
Or
below.
any guests you might want that we might want to pop on the show, we can certainly ask and see if they'll join. I mean, we'll probably get Sai on over the international break for a bit of a review of how the transfer window went. But yeah, anything else you'd like to see from us, please let us know. So yeah, that's the end of the Fulham section. Just wanted to talk a little bit about, obviously we've got the Champions League draw coming up today at 5 p.m. Where we will find out who we are facing, and we will do a reaction to that, probably coming tomorrow morning. It can be very interesting to see. Is there anybody you'd like to get in the draw?
Um, well, I'm looking forward to just playing some big European games. To be honest, I'd like to see us play against somebody like I'd like PSG at home. I think that would be quite cool, especially after beating them in the Club World Cup. I think it would be quite nice to sing world champions at them or something along those lines. Um,
Not
but
sure I would attempt a chance for them to kind of redeem themselves, shall we say?
yeah, that's true. I mean, out of that first pot, obviously we can't play City, we can't play Liverpool. I'm not really bothered who we play. It's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a good atmosphere. As far as an away trip, I wouldn't mind us going to Barca. We haven't been there for a few years, or maybe Dortmund.
Yeah, I just
Um,
ran it on the screen for everybody so while we're talking. But yeah,
yeah, and then the second
you get
pot,
two out of every pot as well, don't you?
yeah, I'd really like us to come up against Atletico. I like them games. I like when we play Atletico. I went to the one in 2017 when Batshuayi scored the last minute winner. And that was good memories. And then yeah, I think overall, I look at that. And there's not that many easy games, is there? If you look through all four pots, bar a couple towards the end, like Paphos and Kairat and Karabag, there's not many easy games in there at all. So I just bring it on. Just bring on the Champions League, mate. And I know we've said it on here before, but I just love the new format, and I'm really excited to see us playing in it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna have to definitely try and go to a couple of the Champions League games, especially in the group stages. I'm gonna go slightly different. I'd like to see a bit easier run. So I'd like a Dortmund away, probably the one of the easier spots in that pot one. Barcelona at home, because I just love playing Barcelona. Some of my favourite memories of going to games were knockout games at Stamford Bridge when we've beaten them, and then I was there for the Ronaldinho goal and the shit show of that refereeing performance when Drogba was calling everyone a disgrace. And then I don't know, like a Benfica. I'm trying to think of like games that if I can get tickets for away games might be quite nice little long weekends, like a little Portugal
Yeah.
long
I'm,
weekend or
See, I'm trying to
something
think of
like
like
that.
little mini like rivalries. You know, like when it's almost guaranteed that you're going to come up against an ex-player. Like so, you've got
Yeah,
like obviously Villarreal potentially with Vega. You've got even
yeah,
Kairat, that Kazakhstani team. They've got our little
that would be
mini
a fun one.
Aguero there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd
it's
be a fun one.
trek of a journey though, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not
Um,
going to that game, but it'd be fun to watch him.
but yeah, I just love the Champions League, man.
Yeah.
It just feels so nice to be back in it.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting, and obviously we'll do a full reaction to that. So, make sure everybody you drop a like, drop a comment, drop a subscribe to make sure you're entered into everything. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your predictions down below. And yeah, we will catch you all next time. Peace.